Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and as you can Tennessee, I am back at my base on Hermitcraft 4. Now, for those of you who are joining us late in the game, I've claimed a Great Plains, if not the greatest plains, in this wonderful biome here, and I have begun converting it into beautiful, lush farmland. I didn't have a great plan, other than that I wanted the farm to be aesthetically pleasing, and so I started planting the wheat in rows. And I just had the realization today that if I really wanted the wheat to look cool in rows, what I should have done was planted it diagonally. I don't think that I'm going to harvest all the wheat and replant it diagonally at this point, but I do need to harvest like all the wheat. Do you know why? Because I kind of promised Biffa. He was like, oh, hey, I got this quartz and it's expensive. And I was like, well, I don't have 8 diamonds for each stack of quartz. I got some steak and some hay bales and some, what else is it I have? Leather. What if I gave you 12 stacks of each, for 12 stacks of quartz? And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just get that to me tomorrow and that'll be good. Well, I've realized 12 stacks of hay bales is actually 12 times 9 stacks of wheat. And even though I have plenty of the meat that I promised and plenty of the leather that I promised, I don't actually have 12 stacks of hay bales in hand, per se. But I think there's at least 12 stacks of hay bales out here so far. While I'm up here, though, just to kind of give you an idea of some of what I'm doing, I've got to level out that area over there and to continue planting. I want the farm to continue pretty much right up against the cliffs. And I want to go ahead, actually, this episode, and start marking out a few other landmarks that I'm going to put on this plot. Let me go ahead and turn on my hot bar because it is getting hot in here in terms of the amount of friction generated by my body slamming into the ground there. Well, one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to indicate where the farmhouse will go because I feel like right now I don't have a solid way to do that. And I'm going to have a white little picket fence, as close as you can get to a white picket fence in Minecraft here. And it's going to connect to this. Now, I don't actually, I want to do some sort of retaining wall made of stone underneath the picket fence and kind of from there work out exactly, like have an elevation change. So, there's an elevation change for you. Okay, let's hop on out of there. So, welcome to a death trap that I'd forgotten about and then kept conveniently under the camera. So anyway, the idea is we would have this white picket fence here that meets up with this here. And eventually, I'm going to put a gate in this, obviously. But so this area that's inside the fence here is where the nice farmhouse will go. I might even give a little bit of elevation to the farmhouse. I don't know. I kind of wanted to round out the fence here, and I'm thinking that might be folly. I'm not sure if that's going to look good in the long term. But let's go ahead and give this a go. Yes, here we are. Boom. Look at that. That's beautiful. This is the start of a beautiful farmship. But anyway, that's okay. It's good to know roughly where you're going to live eventually. But it'll be a few episodes before. Like, I didn't want to build the farmhouse until I had the farm going on, because I felt like the videos would look so much cooler if I had the big farm going in the background while I'm building the house. Now, this way, see, when I look in this direction, this is where the diagonal rows, I think, would make a real difference. Because when I look out here, the spacing of the wheat, like giving it one row between each, kind of just gives it an additional depth that I really appreciate and looks wonderful. But when I look this way, it looks bad. I'm kind of tempted to just crosshatch it and have the wheat in this direction, not crosshatch, perpendicularize it. Make it go the 90-degree angle. Because like in traditional farms, you'd have some plots that went east to west and some that went north to south. Dang it, the sun is fighting us, just like it does in every Harvest Moon game or every real farming place. Didn't do a lot of research on farms for this. I hope it doesn't show, but luckily I am so confident that it won't, that you won't know the difference. So let's go ahead and hop into bed, and we will jump out as soon as the sun has gone around. See, the great thing about beds is they make the sun move behind the planet more rapidly, such that a morning is accelerated, but without like in a kind of awkward, like we're gonna stop wearing black now kind of way. So here we go, opening the door. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys this. So Asuma asked me earlier today, he's like, hey, does anybody, well, he asked the whole server, does anybody have extra dirt? And I was like, oh yeah, I got like double chests full of dirt. And he actually only took like 10 stacks. And I still have all this. Whoops. This is what I owe Biffa. He did not actually... I was thinking he was going to clean me out. Because when Asuma needs something, he needs like 20,000 to 50,000 or something. So I figured this was going to be Asuma takes all of Joe's dirt off his hands day. But it wasn't. And he gave me a ton of obsidian. And a ton of blaze rods. And these end rods. These are some sort of magical glow lights or something. They're like glow sticks. It's like a dynamite rave over here. And I'm ecstatic. So yeah, let's see. We've marked out where our farmhouse is going to go. Another thing I realized is even though we have our barn placed here, a few things we don't have. People were like, well, what's the point of the stone on the side here? Well, the idea is that that's supposed to be like an old structure that was extended into a new structure. So like if you think that like this maybe used to be a stable or something, and then this was extended up here, and then like they added additional stories and stuff. So in order to make this an actual function and stable, we need like a place for horses to go in and or out, which we don't have yet, and I acknowledge that. But like, I just want you to know there is a plan. It's not a good one, because I'm still working on how to make diagonal doors for horses. This is where you, the commenters, jump in. Please leave good comments about how to make great diagonal stable doors, because I didn't really think that far ahead, but I believe in you. You can do it. Outsourcing all my work. Zanga. Okay, so next thing we need to do is I want, like I said, this is supposed to be the barn, but a lot of times a farm will have like one barn for like storing equipment and like grain and animals and stuff, and then they'll have a separate barn that's like for like it's more like a garage really. So what I want to do is I want to build a second barn kind of structure, barn looking structure that serves as the garage, and I think that I wanted to do it. I wanted to start lined up roughly with the water here. I actually have an elaborate map I've been working on for like the optimal places to do all this stuff. It's not, when I say it's elaborate though, it's really kind of barely passable. It's okay. I want this barn to be about the same number of blocks diagonally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I want it to be like 11 blocks diagonally across, which means that maybe that's not a good place for this. I might actually end up cutting into some of this corn here in order to accommodate that barn, because I probably want to have a gap of at least 5 blocks across. So we're going to go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be where the next barn, well, it has to, no, let's go one more, just to make room for the actual horses to escape. Not escape, but just, you know, be free when it's time for me to get the horses out. So, yeah, let's see. So I want the trailing corner of this barn, like if I was going to go maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't want this barn to be as wide as the other one, but I want it to be close. So this one's 11 wide, this one's 8 wide. Then I want to go about half the length, which, wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, a dozen, a baker's dozen, 14, 15, sweet 16. Okay, so if I wanted to go about half that length, I'd want to go 8. Now I'm already going 8 wide here, and I think I want it to be longer than it is wide. But this is a diagonal 8, so that's like a times radical 2 8. Is that might not be the right words. Okay, but anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, enjoy your lack of water crops. Does this look like the right size for a garage? I'm thinking maybe this looks too small. This looks way too small for a garage. This can't be a, well, it's 8 meters by 8 meters. Let's go ahead and extend it out a little bit more here. So it kind of, yeah, okay. So at that point, you could fit a tractor in that, right? It might not be the most elegant solution to all of your tractor-related problems, but it's a passable solution to one of your tractor-related problems. Specifically, where do I store my tractor when I am not riding around looking cool? So we need to intersect the diagonal that's going to strike, which I don't think we've done yet. Oh, hello. Hello, crops. You know, for somebody who's planting a lot of crops, I'm really getting the feeling that I don't enjoy crops as much as I thought I would. But that's okay. This kind of... Okay, that'll be a barn garage thing sooner or later. Because, like, a real car is, like, less... Or a tractor is actually about 2.5 meters wide. And this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is actually wide enough to fit a tractor in. It feels too small. I might come back to that. I'm just trying to get the lay of the land and the layout of the land. So we got our big farmhouse going there. We got our tall barn here. We got our shorter garage going there. That might look okay. Cause like if you think about it, this bay door here that was supposed to be big enough to fit a tractor in is only 1, 2, 3, 4 wide, and that looks like it'd be big enough to drive a tractor through. So if our bay door here is only 4 wide, we're still going to be in the clear. I think that's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. But not this episode. This episode, we're just kind of laying foundations, laying groundworks, and frantically trying to accumulate enough wealth to pay off Biffa to buy a ludicrous amount of quartz for an upcoming project that I've got. Now, you guys can feel free to speculate about what that upcoming project is. And if your speculation is better than what I actually originally intended, then believe me, I will certainly do whatever you suggested and pretend it was my original plan for my project that required a ton of quartz all along. See, that is good program development. So, let's see. Dang it, helicopter, you're harshing my vibe. Time skip!
Who's the guy who can conquer death? That's Joe Hills. He plays for Nashville when he plays Minecraft. That's Joe Hills. That's Joe Hills.
Well, there was a bit of a time skip in there, folks, but let me say, I have actually harvested a good number of these rows. I replanted some of them. Some of them I'm leaving open here. This might become part of the front yard, these rows that are closest to the farmhouse. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do that, if I want to replant them or leave them as is. If we climb up this wonderful little ladder here, we can actually kind of look out and see. Like I said, I've replanted some of these, and some of these rows have had time to grow back entirely, but I pretty much wiped out that part of the field, this part of the field, and that part of the field. Just in order to get the hay that I'm going to need to pay Biffa. Now, I think in the process, I also wiped out a bunch of torches that were poorly placed, and it's going to be easier for me to move water buckets if the crops are not planted where I'm working. So, I don't know. I think this is probably actually good to have a preliminary cull here. So, let's go ahead and hop back into our little cubby house, and let's see. Let's go ahead and manufacture a little bit more wheat for us. Almost 9. Not entirely, but you know what? That's okay, because I believe we only needed about, 50-something hay bales to kind of round out the end of our, yep, here we go. So there we go. That is a dozen hay bales. That is not a dozen steaks or a dozen leather, but I have in other places the things I need to make the dozen steaks and the dozen leather. Now, unfortunately, in order to actually get all this stuff out of here, I'm going to have to make another chest and dump a bunch of my normal loot or equipment that I would normally carry. So let's go ahead and we'll set that chest here. Okay, so extra torches, extra seeds. We are not going to take our normal sword. I think I'm going to need... Wait, if I need 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm gonna need literally every inventory slot to carry this stuff. That is a little bit terrifying to me. That can't be. Well, it must be, right? Let's see. So yeah, if we let's say that we put a bunch of the leather up here, and then we're gonna need 3 more right here to make the dozen once we actually get it all. And then we got the stakes here, and then we need 3 more. Yeah, so we can carry exactly 36 stacks of things. Is it daytime? Am I gonna accidentally place a bunch of hay bales? Let's put one of the stakes in this slot here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, this is not the best way to run through the nether. Probably should have put my bow in my reserve slot, but I'm realizing I wouldn't have been able to fire it without an arrow anyway. So hopefully we will not run into too many ghastly or otherwise terrifying problems on our way to figure. I should have. Oh, I didn't bring a chest. Whatever. I can make it work. It's gonna be okay. So let's see if we can just avoid being on fire. Nope. Almost. Good try, everybody. Your inflammability attempt is notable. It is even laudable. So I think that now we want to go all the way over to get the extra leather from here. Now I've been keeping a bunch of extra leather at my cattle farm because the steak is really what I need to move out of there. Okay, so let's see, there's some crazy castle, there's some thing that makes me faster and shoots a beam of light into the sky. There's a flaming ball of fusion-powered gas that is setting. That's troublesome on account of the lack of gear problem that we mentioned earlier. But, I mean, I do have my armor, and I'm pretty quick on my feet. I mean, relatively. So if we just... I mean, this isn't the poorliest lit area. So we just need enough leather to finish this out here. Okay, once I can't click anymore, that means I have 12 stacks of leather. There's no way I left extra stakes over here, though. That would be silly. Okay, hopefully nobody has bought out all of our stakes while we were gone. Nobody has bought any of our stakes while we were gone. So, I mean, I guess that's what would normally be a terrible, terrible situation. It's actually going to work in our favor here. So, boom. 12 stacks of each. So now I was thinking about this, and I think that the thing to do is going to be to come down here to my shipping and receiving office and just leave all of this in a chest for Biffa here, because this is where we ship and receive stuff, and the odds of being able to schedule a video with Biffa on a weekday are pretty low. So here we... Oh, wait. A chest can only fit... Oh, we're going to need a double chest. Let's go ahead and get the materials we need to make a double chest then. Because, like, we are very resourceful, unique, individual, beautiful snowflakes. So we're just going to, boom, chest achieved. Going to place this here. Going to put those, whoops, put those there. And now if we come in here and we just kind of put all this as well. Yeah, I think Biffa can count to 12. He's going to know that there's 12 of each of these. Done. Okay. So then we just take this and we put 4 Biffa in exchange for 12 stacks quartz. Now, I think that that is good, but what we probably want to do is make this more obviously important. Now, I don't see a ton of redstone blocks here, so we're just gonna just... Oh, I don't have a pick. None of these are picks. Why would I leave extra picks lying around? I always have a pick with me. Dang it. Okay. Well, I was going to put, like, extra redstone blocks around here to call attention to it. Like, on the floor. But that is... Oh, here we go. Wooden pickaxe. That's nature's pickaxe, if you ask me. Okay, great. So we're just going to make sure that Biffa can find that. Kind of draw the eye to it. Boom. There we go. Hopefully Biffa can find the shipping and receiving office. But I am very excited about this. This was a great episode. A great example of what can be achieved if you're willing to spend hours off camera building a gigantic farm and then another hour off camera harvesting that gigantic farm. Luckily, the way my life is structured, I have a lot of downtime where I'm waiting for my daughter to fall asleep and I can't make videos and talk loudly yet, so it works out okay. But anyway, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. I hope Biffa enjoys his shipment. And until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.